What is up guys, Tired here, and welcome to another quick character overview video, now featuring Alphinaud from Final Fantasy XIV. Before we proceed, I would like to give a quick shout out to the creators of the DissidiaDB.com website, as most of the information that I will be sharing with you guys were taken from the website. Also, please do note that the skill descriptions for skill 1 and skill 2 will already consider the extend passive as well as the weapon passives. So, without further ado, let's proceed with Alphinaud's quick overview. So, Alphinaud does have a blue crystal affinity and uses his book and magic to attack his enemies, making him fall under the other categories in terms of weapons. For his role in the party, he is a magic DPS that can provide support to the party in terms of heal and battery. His skill 1 is called Summon Moonstone, which basically summons Moonstone for 6 turns. It provides him a max Brave up buff for 6 turns, and the party gains Brave based on his initial Brave. It has no action delay and it does not increase turn count. While Moonstone is active, the party gains a max Brave up buff as well as a Brave damage reduction buff. His Brave attack turns into Sick, and his HP attack turns into Shining Moonstone. Sick basically is a stronger version of a Brave attack, while Shining Moonstone will now be a 2-hit Brave plus HP attack that has a 120% overflow based on his max Brave. His skill 2 is called Energy Drain, which is a 4-hit Brave plus HP attack with an overflow of 120%. It restores the party's HP based on the HP damage dealt, and any excess HP recovery is converted to Brave. Basically, this is the same with Selfie's Drain ability. The only difference is that Alphinaud's Energy Drain does have a 4-hit Brave attack before the HP attack. Proceeding with his EX ability Obsidian combination, it is a 6-hit AoE Magic Brave plus HP attack wherein the HP damage is split equally among all enemies. The party also gains Brave based on the HP damage dealt, and also this ability does not consume turn count, or rather it does not increase the turn count, and also has no action delay. Alphinaud gains his Obsidian buff for 4 turns, while using his EX ability cancels his Moonstone buff. It also grants him his Shadow Flare buff for 8 turns. Also, I would like to point out more notes on Moonstone and Obsidian. Whenever Alphinaud gets broken, his Moonstone buff or his Obsidian buff will get cancelled. Also, for his Moonstone, at the start of every quest, he gains this buff. So, basically, he gets 1 free use, technically, of the skill. Well, anyways, back to his EX ability Obsidian buff. As I've said, it grants him his Obsidian buff for 4 turns while cancelling the Moonstone buff, and also it grants him a Shadow Flare buff for 8 turns. So what does this buffs do? Obsidian buff raises Alphinaud's max Brave and attack, and it turns his Brave attack into Sick Obsidian, which will now be a 5-hit AoE Brave plus HP attack, split equally among all enemies. And the party gains Brave based on 30% of the HP damage dealt. His HP attack turns into Shining Obsidian, which is a 5-hit Magic Brave plus HP attack that deals 50% HP damage to non-targeted enemies. He also inflicts defense down debuff as well as a poison debuff on all enemies. It also makes it so that Alphinaud will not consume ability use on his next turn. His Shadow Flare buff is a 8-turn buff that raises his max Brave attack and will also lower the enemy's speed and makes it so that enemies will suffer Brave damage each turn. Onto his EX Plus version of his Obsidian combination. At Limit Break 0, the skill gains Overflow, while at Limit Break 1, it raises the party's max Brave and attack. At Limit Break 2, at the start of the quest, Alphinaud gains his Shadow Flare buff for 6 turns, while also filling up his EX gauge to the max. At Max Limit Break, this ability becomes a 4-hit AoE Magic Brave plus HP attack that is executed twice, and it turns Sick Obsidian into Sick Obsidian Plus and Shining Obsidian into Shining Obsidian Plus. The plus version of the attacks makes it so that both attacks now have Overflow. For his AA ability and auras, his AA ability is called Brave Regen All, which provides the party Brave Regen and raises the party's initial Brave. Here are the auras that he provides to the party. He provides Max Brave Aura, Attack Aura, as well as Initial Brave Aura. So for my final thoughts, with the release of his EX weapon and EX ability, he is now a strong magic attacker that can provide good support to the team. He provide good heals and battery to the team as well. On the downside, you really have to be careful with Alphinaud and not get him broken, as Moonstone and Obsidian buff will be dispelled, and the Moonstone skill does have a low use count. For my recommended artifacts for him, 3 Aetherflow boost 2-star will be great, as it strengthen his aura for the max Brave and attack that he provides to the team. And also 3 attack plus 108 is very great for him to further increase his magic DPS capabilities. But initial Brave plus 170 and max Brave 330 are good alternatives as well. So yeah, there you have it, guys. My very quick character overview for Alphinaud. As always, if there are any misinformation that was said during the video, please do not hesitate on correcting me in the comment section down below, as it would greatly help the players who would want to build Alphinaud and really get the essence of the character. So yeah, if you like the video, if you've learned anything with regards to Alphinaud with the video, please do not hesitate on clicking the like button and commenting on the comment section down below. And yeah, I will see you guys on the next video.